That boy Jermell Charlo is back with a whole lot more millions in his bank account, but a whole lot less gold around his waist. But he won't Terence Bud Crawford. And now it looks like that we might get Jermell Charlo and Bud Crawford instead of Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. We're going to talk about that in this video. But before we do that, make sure you hit my like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed to the channel. So yeah, y'all heard what I said. Jermell Charlo back. Yeah, him back, and he letting everybody know he wants to smoke with the biggest and baddest dog on the block. Now, recently, we're hearing reports come out by Dan Raphael saying that the fight, the rematch that a lot of people want to see now ever since that Errol Spence came out and let everybody know, I'm going to give Bud his props, but I wasn't right in that fight. Ever since Spence came out and let the world know what was going on, a lot of people want to see that rematch, including myself. I told y'all before, man, I wasn't really interested in the rematch if Errol Spence wouldn't go come out and say something was wrong with him. He did that. I want to see the rematch. But we got Dan Raphael reporting now that the rematch is likely not to happen between Spence and Bud. Now, the reason why is they saying something due to Errol Spence's surgery, but I don't think that's true because you ain't heard Spence say that. Also, I know that the surgery only takes 4 weeks to heal from, and Spence is already in the gym and he's healed from the cataract surgery already. So that ain't holding him back. Now, I told people a long time ago when you had your other favorite channels reporting that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, it's on for February. Breaking news. When y'all heard all of that shit, I told y'all it was false way back then. Now we know that it was false now because February is here and they not fighting. So stop listening to a lot of these lying ass channels that just put out news just so they can have something to talk about, right? And I told everybody then, that's not happening. The rematch between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is definitely not happening no February, and it might not ever happen. And I told people why. One of the main reasons why is because at that point in time, before Errol Spence had ever came out and said anything, he was still silent. I said they not going to be able to sell the fight. So when you listen to Steven Espinoza speak about putting the fight on, the rematch on, he don't want it to happen. He's talking about, we got Jerron Boots Ennis for Terence Crawford. We got this guy and we got this guy. He's talking about everybody but Errol Spence because they know that Errol Spence and Terence Crawford are going to both want to get paid a lot of money. But the pay-per-view ain't even going to sell as much as the first pay-per-view sold because people ain't going to want to see it again. And that pay-per-view even underwhelmed if you think about all the hype that was around this fight for so long. Now that Errol Spence has come out and said something, it's having a buzz again. Now, I still don't think the numbers are going to be as big as the first one was, but if they rematch, a lot of people not going to pay for it. So that's how I've been feeling about the rematch all this time until Errol Spence finally came out and created a buzz and let everybody know what was going on with it. But after that, Errol Spence ain't said nothing else. He's silent. He did show the world that he is in the gym training, jump roping and whatnot. But that's all we know. But as soon as these reports came out from Dan Raphael telling us that the rematch probably is not going to pop off, we don't know what reason it is. It could be for the reason that I said before, or maybe the contract has expired and they had to fight by a certain time. They're not going to be able to put that fight on by a certain time. And now Terence Crawford, he let everybody know he moving on. He chucking the deuce. As soon as we got those reports, yeah, him came back and let everybody know that him want to smoke. And I'm talking about Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, he popped it off and let everybody know, I'm back. Yeah, I'm back and I want all the smoke. Now, we know what Jermell Charlo said after he lost to Canelo Alvarez. He said, I'm still the king at 154. And if Bud want it, Bud can get it. So that's still a big fight. Now, we know that Bud Crawford refused to fight Jerron Ennis. And we also know that Bud Crawford was trying to fight Tim Tszyu. Well, Tim Tszyu is fighting Keith Thurman, so that ain't going down no time soon. So Bud Crawford ain't got no opponent. Now, we keep hearing this Canelo Alvarez shit for September. I don't think that's popping off. Not unless Bud Crawford fight another fighter on PBC first. And if it ain't going to be Errol Spence, it's probably going to be Jermell Charlo. That is a big fight. I know Bud said that he didn't want to fight Jermell Charlo no more. But Bud going to want that fight now, because who else he going to fight? Yeah, Jermell Charlo and Terence Bud Crawford, man, make it happen for the summer. I want to see it. Any real boxing fan want to see it. And I really don't think that Bud is going to get off on Jermell Charlo like people think he is. I think it's a hell of a fight, a real competitive fight. But Bud might get laid out in this fight. You know what I'm talking about? I know a lot of y'all is real high riding on the Bud Crawford train because of what he did to Errol Spence. But I'm a person that look at the whole body of work. And yes, Bud Crawford has a great body of work. I don't have nothing bad to say about Terence Crawford when it comes to his in-ring ability and his performances. But he ain't never looked like he did against nobody like he did against Spence. And I don't think that he can look like he did against Errol Spence that was clearly messed up against Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo gonna give him all the work he can handle, and I truly believe that. Yeah, Jermell Charlo went up in weight, and he couldn't handle Canelo Alvarez, and I told people when they made that fight, I said, y'all running around talking about Jermell gonna do this to Canelo. I said, man, it's a whole different ball game. That man is moving up 2 weight divisions against arguably the best fighter in the weight division in a lot of people's opinion. Now, my opinion is David Benavidez is without a shadow of a doubt the best fighter in that weight division with David Morrell. And then Canelo Alvarez is third. But Canelo Alvarez has the best resume, and he's proven more than all of them. So if you want to give it to Canelo, that's cool, but we know Canelo ducking that man. Yeah, he ducking that man, and everybody know he ducking that man. But back to what I was saying. You know, you had to be a damn fool if you thought that Jermell Charlo was going to go in there and knock out Canelo like a lot of y'all was saying. And that Jermell Charlo was going to go in there and actually have a chance to beat Canelo, man. You can't just move up 2 weight divisions and face the top fighter in the weight division and beat him. It don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, you're talking about Jermell Charlo and Terence Crawford. That's a whole different fight. You know what I'm saying? Jermell Charlo is the much bigger man. Jermell Charlo is stronger than Crawford or as strong as Crawford. I don't know which one's stronger, but you know, both of them strong. And man, Jermell Charlo can box. He can move. He can do it all. So it'll be a hell of a fight. I want to see the fight. And they have history. These two been talking shit to each other for years. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, Terence Bud Crawford, he still will take that fight. And the messed up thing about it is they just stripping Jermell Charlo of all of his straps. They gave one to Tim Tszyu, right? Then they just stripped him of the WBC strap, and they letting Fundora fight a dude I ain't never heard of for Jermell Charlo WBC strap when Fundora got knocked out his last fight. So we know these sanctioning bodies is a joke. You feel me? I think Jermell Charlo still might have 1 strap left or 2, but you know, regardless of that, man, the way that these sanctioning bodies is moving, they showing you that these belts really don't mean shit nowadays because they make them not mean shit. So let Jermell Charlo and Terence Crawford fight for belts, whatever belts that will be on the line or no belts. Who give a damn? It's still a hell of a fight. Make it happen. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this. Drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. Tango talking that boxing again, and I'm gone.
I'll just slide on the slab when I creep. Take a bath or you put your ass on them seats.